All right, folks. Thank you for joining me here today. It is 12/6/2022. We continue on tonight. In this episode, we're going to talk about the elite plan being completely exposed, sacrificing the cryptocurrency space, the chaos underway that you're seeing, right? All planned, all done by design. And we understand that this is a rough ride. A guaranteed buyback of our XRP at 50,000 is not guaranteed, but we will be talking about that at the end of the session. I know that has a lot of people in a little tizzy and a lot of people asking questions, and we got to ask the right questions. And I just want to make it very clear that the whole reason why I'm even talking about the buyback, why I'm interested in it, is coming from the standpoint of an American trying to save his country and save and preserve an opportunity for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for my children and my children's children. Right. So what we're up against is some pretty evil people, and victory and an easy road ahead has never been what we have, saw. As we look ahead at what's coming next, we understand how evil these people are, how sick they are, and the lengths that they're willing to go to, keep humanity enslaved within their program. And you guys understand that very well. Let's get right on into it, though. A full current events, cryptocurrency, greatest transfer of wealth for you update. And I'm super excited to bring it at the end of this session, though I will talk more about the buyback. And I thought because the videos are going a little viral right now, it's getting a little stir, a little excitement. Okay, it's fun. I wanted to make myself available at the end of this session for Q&A and open myself up so I can, answer all the questions. I got the documents right here, right in my little red folder is my, an invitation to the group and the proposal and the terms of the Fed buyback. And I'm not here for 50,000 XRP. I'm here as an American. Can we please save our country? And if it just happens to be Jimmy Valley from Val Hill Capital that has a plan, then it's got to be better than the program that we got going on. So as an American, that's where I'm coming from. I'm not here for, people are acting like, I'm reading through all these comments, and people are acting like I'm taking this proposal to the bank down my street and telling them, hey, the Federal Reserve is going to take my XRP at 50,000 per XRP, and I'll give you a deal at 45K right now. What do you think? I'll give you a deal right now at 40K. Like, people are acting like I just think that this thing's set in stone and it's already done, and the 50K is going to be in your bank account by next year. Guys, you know me. You know me better than that. And maybe you're new. So I'm going to give you guys the benefit of the doubt. The new people, just tune in. Just tune in. This session, we usually go anywhere, 45 minutes to an hour. We run it up. We're talking current events, cryptocurrency, the greatest transfer of wealth in world history, and not just hoping and praying that our little bags of XRP are going to take us to paradise. That has never been our program. So let's not be confused. Let's get right on into it. I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in tonight. I do not even have CoinMarketCap pulled up, and that's because I honestly haven't even been looking at the markets. I'm out of this market for trading perspective, and I only have limited funds right now that I'm going to be allocating towards cryptocurrency. So it is what it is. I'm waiting for a serious move back down to the downside, a new low set. And if we don't get it, my bags are packed and I'm ready to go for the ride. But on a day-to-day basis, guys, I haven't even been in this market, and I apologize for that. I don't even have CoinMarketCap pulled up. I couldn't tell you what XRP's at, but that shows you what I hold. I'm spending time reading this document to save this country. I'm not trading anymore. This is so much bigger than just, 50K XRP, we're going to get rich. No, folks, this situation's ugly in the crypto space with the liquidity. We don't trust anybody right now, so I had to pull all my funds, which I took my XRP and ran. Cashed it out for XRP, got it off the exchange, into my own storage, and we're secure. And we're riding this storm out. And if you guys are looking to, acquire more of these assets, I think that an opportunity is coming up for you. I will get into that at the end of this session. We'll fire up the prices and see where we're at. But that just shows you where I'm standing at. I didn't even pull up the prices for crypto tonight. You guys tell me where we're at. All I know is that this elite plan is getting completely exposed. Jim Records popping in here tonight. This is all part of the elite plan to eliminate cash and bring on central bank digital currencies. Then your savings will be led to a digital slaughterhouse with freezes, seizures, tax withholdings, and thought control and joy. Yeah, so we know that, the programmable money is the real threat right here. When people who want to limit others' freedoms, when people want to infringe on other people's rights, that is the main concern with CBDC. We've been very vocal about that issue. And we're also very vocal about, hey, in regards to this buyback, I'm going to get into this later, right? But it's like, I don't want 50,000 of this fiat trash cash. Like, yeah, we're still accepting it and working with it for now, but like, that's why I went into crypto. That's why I hold precious metals, is to get outside of that system, right? So I don't want 50,000 USD. And I don't want 50,000 USD CBDC, but this is where we start to have the conversation about, can we go back to a gold standard? Can we go back to a gold, silver, backing it by some sort of commodity? Maybe back it by XRP, back it by something other than the full faith and hope and prayer of our federal government. That's the conversation that this is about, folks. So Jim Rickards chiming in, and he's been talking about this situation. I highly recommend his work. He just has a new book out. I think it's called Sold Out. I'm gonna have to pull that book. I'm gonna have to take a look at that, because I listen to, I read everything, and I follow everything that Jim Rickards does. One of the OGs in this space. Cheers, everyone. Thank you for tuning in tonight. I appreciate all of you guys. Let's get it popping tonight, guys. Thank you so much. Here we go. The plan all along. Goldman Sachs plans to spend hundreds of millions on crypto-related investments after the FTX downfall. The Wall Street folks, the gang, is moving in rather quickly. Bank of America included. From Eleanor Terrett. Brian Moynihan, I guess is how we say his name, maybe, tells Team Cavuto, CBDC's cryptocurrency really isn't going to change the system. It's a very efficient payment system. You can go anywhere in the world and hand people a piece of plastic and get dinner. That's a pretty fantastic system. Moynihan also said Bank of America was never for cryptocurrencies. Quote, what we are for is the blockchain technology, and those are two vastly different things. He revealed that Bank of America currently has around 200 to 300 patents in blockchain and distributed ledger technology. Now, I wonder how that holds up against Reggie Middleton's patent, right? We had Reggie Middleton on the show, DeFi patent. And, he makes the claim that a lot of the space is infringing upon his rights. And as you see right here, behind the scenes, one partnered up with Ripple back in 2018. I think the partnership even goes back to 2016, if I'm not mistaken. But regardless, you get the point. Partnership with Ripple all the way back in 2018. We see that Warren Buffett dumps all of his bank shares besides doubling down on his, Bank of America stock. So we saw him make that move. And then we see here behind the scenes, they're filing 200 to 300 patents. It shows you right here, Goldman Sachs too, right in the article before. Goldman Sachs plans to spend hundreds of millions on crypto-related investments after FTX downfall. So all these guys looking to move on in, looking to roll out the CBDC, but then they're looking to get their own stake at the real utility within this space. Next one, let's get right on into it. Right on cue and following in the footsteps of its 6 predecessor bear markets rallies this year, the S&P 500 rallied to the 200-day moving average, gave it a kiss, and rolled right over. This is from David Rosenberg. We've been following that S&P 500, right? And we see here the fractals that we're watching, the 2008 fractal on the VIX, on the S&P, looks like we're about to roll over to the major to the downside, okay? So we're watching that one closely. And as always, as we've been saying, cryptocurrency moves first. Stocks are going to move after that, and real estate's lagging after that, okay? And you guys are seeing the breakdown on Main Street as well. As we see, the Main Street breakdown is what hurts me the most. Main Street folks getting wiped out. Continuing on, though, this is major. After 2 decades of continuous equity dilution, the top 10 gold and silver miners are now doing record amount of share buybacks. So before it was all tech, right? It was all this emerging tech that was mostly doing the stock buybacks. And obviously, a lot of corporate America has been buying back their stock. And if they really believe in what they're doing, right? A lot of these CEOs have made their exits, have headed for the hills in retirement and got out of the way because they knew that the storm was coming. But we see that the record amount of share buybacks underway for those that do believe. And right here we have the gold and silver miners, the top 10, doing a record amount of share buybacks right now. So same things happening with XRP, same things happening here with the gold and silver miners. And I'm not here to pitch you gold stocks or any of that. What I got is my partner down below for rolling over your 401k or retirement account to precious metals. Okay, so I'm not here to push trading gold or silver miners, but some people are suggesting that there could be some serious moves within those mining stocks as well. You guys know me, I'm not a stock guy, but we can see right here something underway, and we can see that the central banks have been buying a record amount of gold as well. Then we also know about the restraints and the suppression of silver as well. Not only the physical restraints of the silver market and the supply, but actually the suppression in the derivatives market as well, getting completely exposed. Well, all these guys go in on the back end. They file the patents, they're doing share buybacks, they're doing deals behind the scenes with hundreds of millions and billions of dollars of capital set on the sidelines to go buy up blood in the streets, right? And same thing here happening with the gold and silver miners. But yeah, like I said, guys, if you're looking to roll over your retirement account 401k, I have partnered up with someone that'll help you do so. It's in the links down below, the precious metals link, or at the top of my website, you can find it. It's just that precious metals link, and it'll take you directly to my partner's website. Fill out your information, get in touch with them. The process takes a minute, and that's the thing. If you're on the fence about that, if you're thinking about it, maybe just get in touch with them now, because the process takes a minute to roll it on over, to exit your account and move that 401k. But if it's something that you've been considering personally, I've mostly been stacking silver and cryptocurrencies myself. Now I have cash on the sidelines for real estate, and I'm not here to give you financial advice. I'm here to, basically describe what's happening in the real scene, in the streets, the cryptocurrency events, the current events, tying it all together and telling you how I'm maneuvering, how I'm investing. So that's what I'm here to do. I'm not here to give you financial advice, but my partner is down below. If you want to get in touch with my people, I would highly recommend getting that process started. Okay, because this thing's ready to move. You guys see it in the charts. We see another data point right here. It's about to do something. It 100% has been suppressed, and that's now came out in a court of law. So that's not financial advice. That's just simple headlines. Okay, serious situation about to break out in the gold and silver. It's getting me excited. I am actually trying to get into my silver dealer and into my Second Amendment dealer as well. God bless this country. Let's get on into the cryptocurrency news, though. Hugo Filion, hey, Brian Armstrong, we are getting radio silence from your team and would really like to help Coinbase distribute Flare's token as agreed. We will dedicate as many people as needed from our side to make it happen. So Coinbase is still not giving us an answer, and I really appreciate this one from Hugo Filion, CEO of Flare. Once again, the date is January 9th, 2023 here, just shortly within, about a month's time frame. We should be receiving our Spark tokens. Brian Armstrong, also, where is our Songbird tokens? Let's all tag Brian Armstrong. We'll clip this one up, and then we're going to share this one on Twitter, and we're all going to tag Brian Armstrong. Hey, what's going on, bro? Crypto bro Brian Armstrong, what's going on with the Songbird? What's going on with the Flare? Okay, and what's going on with the reserves on your exchange as well, too? Let's talk about that as well. Uh-oh. Now let's continue on. We got Maxine the Waters with Sam Bankman-Fried here in a Twitter thread back and forth. Sam Bankman-Fried saying, yeah, he has a little duty. He would feel it was my duty to appear before the committee and explain. I'm not sure what will happen by the 13th, but when it does, I will testify. And so he says, once I have finished learning and reviewing what happened, and Maxine, acting tough here, based on your role as CEO and your media interviews over the past weeks, it's clear to us that the information you have thus far is sufficient for testimony. As you know, the collapse of FTX harmed over 1 million people. Your testimony would not only be meaningful to members of Congress, but is also critical to the American people. It is imperative that you attend our hearing on the 13th, and we are willing to schedule continued hearings if there is more information to be shared later. Oh, thanks, Maxine, for standing up for us. That was a really nice suggestion given to Sam Bankman-Fried. Yeah, they don't want to subpoena the guy because he's a friend of them, right? The operation that has been completely exposed. He is a friend of the Maxine Water cabal type figures. And so we just see them, hey, Sam, we're making a little suggestion here. It is time to appear. We got to do something. Our constituents are hitting us up, and we should all be taking a major stand right now as Americans, not only talking about the buyback proposal, sending letters to our congressmen, standing up to our local leadership here in this country. I mean, we're in the battle here, good versus evil, and we got to fight this thing at the very top, all the way back down here to our local level. Wherever you can get involved, whatever role you can play, it's time to stand up and say that we're not going to stand for this. Like, that's cute, Maxine. Subpoena his ass. Bring him in. And why won't he show up? You know why he won't show up is because if he steps foot on American soil, they'll have to arrest him to save face and to have any sort of accountability. Save their reputation. They're going to have to do something with Sam Bankman, right? I mean, get him to join the committee hearing through a Zoom call. Are you kidding me? Now, obviously, they're playing these games and it's getting exposed, and that's the major problem for them. That's the major problem for these guys. Where was Oh, yeah, right here, right here. Check this out, folks. This is the major problem for them. Getting completely exposed, Gary Gensler included. July calendar, which shows meetings with some of the big market makers, brokers, industry groups, and regulators, perhaps discussing his plans for stock market overhaul. Also, another meeting with IEX on July 29th, confirming Charles Gasparino's reporting of multiple meetings between IEX execs and the SEC in the past year. And so this is the July calendar for Gary Gensler, just finally got released. And so that's what's so ridiculous about this. We're just now getting his July calendar. And obviously he's making big moves, right, with big market maker players right here, market makers, brokers, industry groups, and regulators. But we can barely get him to show up for softball questions from CNBC. I mean, he should be appearing every single day in front of the press. You're working for the American people and you're not showing up every damn day like we are and everyone else that's in this fight? Where the hell are you? Let's continue on with the silliness here. Michael Saylor got a little clip of him on the Patrick Bet David podcast, and he's talking about Ethereum and XRP Ripple. He says they are committing securities fraud, especially Ethereum, guys. Check out this clip. Michael Saylor, the Bitcoin Maxi, on Patrick Bet David's show here. Here we go.
What are your thoughts about what's going on with Ripple and how he is handling the Ripple case?
Ripple's an unregistered security. It's pretty obvious. There's a company. The company owns a bunch of it. They sell it to the general public, but they never took the company public. There's no disclosures, right? So the SEC's position is you're selling an unregistered security. It's a crypto token, right? Just like Ethereum is an unregistered security. It's controlled by a few people in the Ethereum Foundation and Consensus.
Fair. Then
just
here's
like
a question.
FTT, just like Solana.
Perfect. But here's a follow-up on that,
They're
Michael.
all unregistered securities.
Here's a follow-up on that.
Right.
I don't own a single Ripple, just so we know. So full disclaimer, I'm not a Ripple guy. But if both of them are unregistered, why target Ripple and not target Ethereum the way he is targeting Ripple? And by the way, this is coming from a guy that owns Ethereum, not Ripple.
Yeah, I think the best thing for the world would be if the SEC pretty much shut down all of it. It's all unethical, right? I mean, the Bitcoin position would be Bitcoin is an ethical commodity. All of these other altcoins are unregistered securities. They're all just equity tokens issued by a company in order to get around going public, and they're committing securities fraud.
Ethereum included.
Of course, especially Ethereum. You know, Ethereum's got $20 billion of ETH token locked up in the staking contract right now, and there's a couple of people that may or may not give it back to you ever. Now, isn't that the definition of investment contract? If a bank took $20 billion of your assets, froze the window and said you can't have your money back ever, maybe in the year 2024, we're not sure. We're just going to keep it. We may actually give you interest on it. We may take it all. We may slash it. That's the definition of a security, right? It's an investment of money in a common enterprise, relying upon the efforts of others and expectation of profit. The whole point is if you want a crypto asset to be a commodity, you can't rely upon 4 engineers, a company, a CEO. If a person can make a decision, it's not a commodity.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. And as you guys know, with the XRP ledger, it can't be just, Brad and David get together and decide to change the XRP ledger. That's not how it works. And you understand why Michael Saylor is scared and why he wants to use the SEC and the government's power to go after Bitcoin's competition. He calls Bitcoin an ethical commodity, a proof of work, slow, inefficient payment network that is a waste of energy. I mean, it is a waste of energy because it's an inefficient payment network and has no utility. We've made that very clear. And as a store of value, a hedge against the very dollar that it kind of set out to replace, it has been a complete failure as well. So that's why Michael Saylor needs to go on the attack against, and God bless him for calling out the Ethereum situation, because we've been talking about Ethereum too. That was going to be the biggest flop in the history of crypto. And that was, it's just been an absolute joke. And almost centralized the power within Ethereum. But Ethereum's always been centralized. It's always been reliant upon that foundation. And the gang of developers is chosen by Joseph Lubin and Vitalik Buterin. And right here, the problem that when he's going against Ripple, and the difference between Ripple and XRP and the whole rest, 99% of crypto, is Ripple's a private company. That's fine. There's history, precedent within the United States, very clear securities law. If you're going to raise money to fund your company, there's ways to do it. And Ripple's done that the proper legal way. The sales of XRP, see, that's what just pisses off the SEC and the Wall Street folks, is that they were able to use an open, permissionless, decentralized cryptocurrency to their benefit, not only for the technology benefits, but they also have, made some money from that, obviously, right? But what are they doing? Dumping it all back into the XRP ecosystem that just continues to get up market share, continues to get on-demand liquidity partnerships and growth using XRP, even though they've stalled it up in a lawsuit. Now, like I said, absolutely. We've been talking about Ethereum. We've been talking about 99% of cryptos. The way that they did their ICO was an unregistered securities offering. The product was not finished. It was not built out. That situation did not occur with Ripple and XRP. And that's the difference. And if if the SEC is able to squeak out, the best case scenario for them is a slap on the wrist. Some of those early sales, we're going to get you on. It was a verbal investment contract, or they're going to twist it to make it an investment contract. Those are the only ones that they can get them on, right? And so far, from all the evidence that I've seen, the reply briefs, I have not seen an investment contract that the SEC has provided yet. So that's what this whole situation is about. If there's not an investment contract, it's not a security. So that means it's not even under their jurisdiction. It needs to be thrown out. The case needs to be thrown out. Now, if Brad and Chris cut a backdoor deal with a buddy and said, hey, buy XRP because I'm promising you I'm going to make it work. And maybe they can get Brad and Chris on something. I don't know. I don't know what went on. But today's XRP is completely different from the rest of the cryptocurrency space, as it is sufficiently decentralized. There is not one group, there is not a few guys that can make a decision to change the network. We just proved that decentralized nature of the ledger with the NFT update XLS 20. And this is the whole problem with, the rest of the space, is you still got Bitcoin maxis like Michael Saylor that want to talk about Bitcoin as this, ethical commodity. Meanwhile, we have the rest of the space that he is rightfully saying did do unregistered securities offerings, but neither one is the solution. Like, yes, they're in trouble. The SEC has a case to go after them. This lawsuit needs to be ended right away because we know, some early sales, whatever they're going to get them on. But today's XRP is not a security. It's very clear, right? And that's the thing that is so unfortunate, is so many new people here are still getting caught up with the Michael Saylor Bitcoin and with the Ethereum and with the other stuff, and they don't even understand the law. Is very simple. The way that 99% of these projects did it, they are going to have a legal battle ahead. Now, John Dean chiming in here, he says, in our brief, XRP holders highlight a similar filing in June of 2019, 18 months before Clayton, Hinman, and company filed the lawsuit. MoneyGram filed a form with the SEC disclosing the use of XRP in its cross-border payments business. The SEC said nothing because XRP isn't a security. So this was MoneyGram who filed a SEC disclosing about using XRP for cross-border payments. And then this comes from Crypto Eddie sharing with us today that we have new filings, and this is from Tranglo, okay? And they're specifically saying that XRP is, quote, pivotal to future developments. XRP provides standout competitive factors, and XRP will help capture market share. XRP ODL company going public, and Ripple owns 40%. And so that is going to be Tranglo, I believe. And it's incredible to see the success that Tranglo experienced. MoneyGram was an efficient test as well, and they actually cited some of their utility with the SEC as well. But the main point is what John Deaton just said. the SEC didn't stop them. The SEC didn't say anything, right? Because XRP is not a security. They had no response to it. But they're getting Ripple caught up in this phony lawsuit that they've been able to file. Now, in regards to the lawsuit, the end is appearing to be close. Fred Rispoli, my favorite quotes from the story below. This one's about Stuart Alderati, Chief General Counsel at Ripple. Quote, Alderati declined to itemize hourly billables for Ripple's prominent litigators. And, quote, Hinman, who returned last year to Simpson Thacher and Bartlett, declined a request for comment. Yeah, so Stuart Alderati here, this whole article here written by him. Let's check this one out. And we have Hinman declining to join the conversation. The reason why I wanted to bring up this article, though, folks, is just think of how insane, how exciting, how bullish these articles are about to get once we actually win this lawsuit. This is just the lead up. This is just the hype, right? Build up to the end of this lawsuit. Bloomberg Law. Wall Street veteran is the face of crypto in Ripple versus SEC fight. Let's check it out. SEC lawsuit against Ripple nears 2-year mark. Company says it spent $100 million on law firms. Stuart Alderati is giving the U.S. Securities Exchange Commission its toughest fight against crypto regulation in one of the industry's most important tests, even as the FTX debacle grips the world of digital assets. Alderati, a 63-year-old lawyer, has spent most of his career working for traditional financial players. As chief legal officer for the payments company Ripple Labs, he's now at the center of a scorched earth litigation and public relations battle against the SEC and its chairman, Gary Gensler. They want to exert power that the law doesn't otherwise give them, Alderati said in an interview in Washington prior to FTX bankruptcy. The Ripple case is a keynote in the growing debate over regulating an industry that's sometimes compared to the Wild West. It could soon enter a new phase. A federal judge is reviewing dueling motions from Ripple and the SEC, each asking the suit to be resolved in its favor. Ripple claims it has already spent roughly $100 million to defend the case and effectively shield the entire crypto industry from what it calls overregulation by the SEC. Alderati has turned to a roster of well-known outside lawyers, including the Obama administration SEC chairs Mary Jo White and her former deputy Andrew Seresny. Meanwhile, the crypto winter descending on digital asset markets this year and the high-profile meltdown of FTX has the SEC touting its efforts to protect investors. Now, I'm not going to read on any further, but you guys get the point, and you guys see the excitement building up here. Talking about the fact that we have two former SEC officials, SEC Mary Jo White and the former head of enforcement, Andrew Seresny, which when we saw that, we said this case is over, right? I mean, a former SEC official, right? And obviously they go back and forth, they do their dance, but these lawyers are killers. I mean, Stuart Alderati and, these two that they've got right here, this is who led me to believe that there's no chance that the SEC is going to be able to make their case. And you can see it from all the briefs. You can see it from all the appearances that they had to make in front of the judge that the lawyers don't even believe in the case that they're making. I mean, it's very clear. But the buildup before this case even gets settled, getting very exciting. Stuart Alderati comments, as we hit the beginning of the end with the SEC lawsuit, I couldn't have asked for a better team to be part of. Thankful every day for my equally inimitable colleagues at Ripple. The end is near, folks. It's super exciting to see. And for me, it's just a matter of remaining patient, staying focused, locked in on our business, locked in on the moves that we're making right now. Because although this case appears to be wrapped up, the bullish things are coming out. You need to decide what's best for you, what's best for your investment strategy, what's going to get you through this winter. It's a very serious situation, okay? But there's an opportunity right here to be had for those of you that are still trying to acquire these assets on the cheap. But I think that our breakout moment is coming rather quickly. Mr. Intuitive, Troomers only, probable. Judge rules Ripple sales early were securities, but XRP itself now is not a security. Settles with judicial clarity on XRP. If Ripple sales were securities, imagine how bad it looks for ICOs. Would you rather have the head start before or after clarity? And that's the situation. We've been talking about that, right? Is that, they're going to be the first one out the gate with regulatory clarity. And at best, the SEC will be able to get a slap on the wrist for the early sales. Cindy Young, who is at Ripple, says, I'm genuinely humbled to have been elected to join the the Payments Association Advisory Board. Thank you to everyone who voted for me. The opportunity to advocate on behalf of the UK payments industry is one I will seize with both hands. Now, let's take a look here. Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to do that. If you look at the people that are actually on this board, it is pretty incredible. Right here in the middle, there's Darren Deal, who is the Senior Vice President, FinTech, Digital Partners, and Government at MasterCard. And that's the whole thing with the Cindy Young. She went to join Ripple after doing a 5-year stint at MasterCard, right? And we've seen how MasterCard's been recently making its moves. Cindy Young, Managing Director, that's the European Middle East, EMEA Ripple. Yeah. European markets, and I forget what else that is. Yeah. But then you have members from Accenture, NatWest, Private Money, and Santander, which is obviously a Ripple partner as well. But I wanted to show you guys this one. This is so important to the buyback conversation. I know I got everyone in a tizzy. Everyone's excited about this document right here. And what I got here, I mean, guys, this is it. This is the legal document. It looks like the filings in the Rippleverse, as you know, it's like real legal document here. This is from Valhill Capital, and this is the proposed terms for the purchase of XRP tokens from participating token holders, okay? And the red lines are the new adjustments that have had to been made. And as I was talking about, the key part that I love to see is that they've included the Department of Treasury. And as I was telling you guys, I'm coming at this as an American. I'm not focused on the 50K per XRP. I'm coming at this as I want a future for my children. I mean, golly, we're up against evil here. And I come, and I told you guys from the very first time that I talked about this, my first stance, my first position in the negotiations here is I come from a point of why are we even having to sit across the table from the Federal Reserve? So don't think that I just am like, think that this is just a cakewalk and where do I sign, Jimmy? This deal's done. 50K XRP. Let me start planning what yacht. I've never even done the calculations for, okay, if the Fed's going to give me 50K per XRP, how I'm going to be a billionaire. I'm not, that's stupid thinking. That's not what this is about. It's about saving our country. I understand those of you outside of the United States then ask, okay, well, this doesn't involve, just Americans. This involves, people worldwide. Yes, you have the potential to take this against the central bank entities that have undermined your country and overthrown your country and have enslaved your people, just like we're trying to do. That's why this is important. It's not about 50K XRP. What we see here is that Chris Larson sat down nearly a decade ago and presented Ripple and XRP to everyone that matters within our government and within the financial world. Check out this next tweet here that I'm about to show you guys. This is from Ashley Prosper. XRP community, let's not forget, if Ripple goes to trial, we could end up seeing multiple government officials cross-examined under oath, including Jay Clayton and Bill Hinman, as well as employees from the agencies that took part in the 2013 meeting with Chris Larson. Check this one out, folks. This is incredible. In October 2013, defendant Chris Larson, then CEO of Ripple, made a presentation to the SEC and other regulators about Ripple and XRP. Indeed, it is undisputed, and the SEC admitted in response to RFA 490 that, quote, representatives of Ripple met with members of the SEC and other U.S. regulatory agencies on or about October 29th, 2013. The SEC, however, has improperly refused to answer all other RFAs relating to the October 29th, 2013 meeting. The meeting also had participants from the Treasury Department, Federal Reserve, FDIC, National Credit Union Administration, Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, IRS, Conference of State Bank Supervisors, Federal Trade Commission, Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, and that's we're getting in there to FinCEN, right, which is who they already settled up with in 2015, the Office of Foreign Assets Control, Federal Bureau of Investigation, and the U.S. State Department. The U.S. State Department. Who hasn't Ripple presented this to? We know that they already went up into the White House too back in 2018 in Trump's White House. We know that they were in that White House as well. Multiple connections, not just one, not just two. Rosie Rios, direct connections to the Treasury Department, just to name a couple, right? But you guys know how deep that list goes. And like I said, for me, the negotiations begin at, why are we even having to speak to the Federal Reserve across the table? You guys are a group of private central bankers that have an interest in yourselves and yourselves making money, and you don't care about Americans. You don't care about the common folk. Now, I'm a simple guy. I don't understand the legal jargon. I read through the document. I read through how they came up with the calculations, and I pull up and I listen. And then I pull up on my platform and I say, I'd like to have the conversation. This is a great conversation to have. We have to save our country. For me, it's not about 50K XRP. Putting it in the title of a video, kind of clickbaity, sure, okay, guilty as charged. A little clickbait, 50K XRP in the title. But that's the negotiations, that's the terms, that's the proposal. I mean, I could pull this out, but I can only show you guys so much right now. It's gone up. So, I mean, do you want me to put what the real price is now in the title? Because that's what they're suggesting. And I'm pulling up and listening. And a lot of people get confused. A lot of people get it twisted. They think that we think this deal is a done deal. That we've already banked. We've already set up a plan. We've already told our financial advisor that our XRP is worth $50,000 per XRP. We've already gone down to the bank to try to cut them a deal for our XRP. We're already looking at the yachts. We're already, no. That is not what this is about. The 2 points that I made in my video today. First, we're addressing the Treasury. I love to see it. And we're addressing it as the United States corporation. Understand what constitutional law is, and understand what corporate law is, and understand what legal entities we are actually dealing with. Our country's been taken from us, folks. That's what this is about. And I don't want 50,000 of USD, fiat trash. I don't want 50,000 of a CBDC that takes all my privacy, security, and if I, use too much carbon, I'm going to get cut off. You guys know me better than that. That's not what I'm advocating for. What I'm advocating for is having the conversation and getting to the point here that we're dealing with a U.S. corporation, right? That is a legal entity that is not constitutional, that is ruling over us. And another arm of that system is the Federal Reserve, also unconstitutional. And we aren't even allowed to audit the Federal Reserve. Some would suggest that we should end the Federal Reserve. But these are the entities that we are dealing with. The Treasury Department, Federal Bank of Boston, New York, Philadelphia, this whole damn system. These are the people that we're up against. Or maybe they want to come to the table and let's figure out a deal. The underlying issue is also addressing that the corporation's bankrupt. It's not just 30 trillion in debt. That's the number they give us. It's over $100 trillion in debt. So we have an underlying issue that's a currency, debt, and a liquidity crisis. But for the sake of the buyout conversation, we're mostly just talking about that currency and debt crisis. So when I'm going to be pulling up to this conversation, and, I appreciate Jimmy Valley reaching out and everything, I come with those concerns, and I come with an understanding that, we're doing this on behalf of XRP holders, but on behalf of Americans. They, in this deal, would be able to use XRP to restructure our currency and our debt. That's what it's about, guys. Now, I see some super chats in the house. Salamander 20 spot. Despite the ups and downs at the first SEC with the upper hand, it is now Ripple that has the upper hand. As anticipated, at the moment of victory seems to be in the hands of XRP, and the SEC seems to be just trying to stall. Absolutely the case. Absolutely. The SEC never had a case, and they are very desperate. along with all the other entities and arms of this system that we're fighting. The SEC is just one arm. Okay. XRP Bible, I see the Canadian $6.99. Keep grinding, Zach. Have a cold beer on me. Thank you guys. Cheers to everyone in the chat tonight. I appreciate you guys. If you guys can do me a favor, let's please smash that thumbs up for me. So I got a couple more things to share so that you understand the situation that we're looking at, whether or not we get a 50,000 XRP buyback. I'm about to show you guys some TA that, just justifies why we get so damn excited about this opportunity. And if we were even 10% right, the buyout doesn't happen, 90% of it doesn't happen, it's still life-changing. It's still a bag. Let's get right into it. Check it out. XRP Pharaoh. Fun fact, from January 2017 low of 0.0036 to the 2018 high of $3.54 was roughly a 96,000% rise for XRP. A 96,000% rise from the March 2020 low of 10 cents would put XRP at 96 cents, and a 96,000% rise from the June 2022 low of 28 cents would put XRP at 275. I'm just looking at data, numbers don't lie. And then you look here at Jack the Rippler, he's got the same move here, 67,000%, right? That give or take that move right there. And if we do it again, he has, $203 right there. Okay, so you're telling me somewhere between 96 and $300, right? Just based off of previous technicals that we did when the space was so immature, had just a little drop of liquidity flowing through it compared to all the money that is coming to distributed ledger technology. Because what did we just cover at the beginning? JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, patents, making deals behind the scenes, right? And then they're buying whatever's left of the cryptocurrency space, whatever assets they deem worthy of acquiring during this time. They're picking across the remnants of what's left of the crypto space. Now, if we look, although I just shared you guys those bullish charts, I'm always going to keep it real. Although I talk about a $50,000 XRP buyback, I'm always going to keep it real with you guys. We're not here for the dramatics and clickbait and BS. I'm really going to be talking about it. I don't just put it in the title for no reason. But we're going to keep it real. And so we got to look at this situation. Dark Defender on the TA bros. We appreciate Dark Defender. I don't even know what these technicals are. PARSAR, wave trend, Ichimoku says XRP still needs time. I won't be surprised if we see a wick to the 22 cent level we set on February of 22 this year. This will be the last chance we see these levels above the cloud wave 3 starts. We are close, God bless. And that's where I'm looking at right now, folks. I mean, golly, whatever you want to do, throw this away, run it through the shredder, discount it, 50K is crazy. Okay, the basic fundamentals tell us that we should be getting excited about this asset. And as always, we're running real businesses, making real moves throughout the whole thing. We're not just banking that by the grace of God, the Federal Reserve is going to bless us. I mean, come on, folks. Let's get tapped in. Let's get serious about our strategy. And I will take your guys' questions at this point. I appreciate everyone for tuning in tonight. Please do me a favor. Let's smash the thumbs up. Let's open it up for Q&A. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Cheers to everyone in the party here. 50K and just rapidly growing. And we're just getting started. And we're always going to keep it real. We're never selling out. And you guys can always know that I'm going to be available. I'm not just going to throw up clickbait, show my little red folder and make a cute TikTok. Please, let's have an adult conversation. Let's pull up and let's get a real deal done to save this country. God bless this country and the opportunity that we once had. Let's please restore that. Let's please fight for something. Let's please show me a program and answer. Let's do something. God bless Jimmy Valley for trying to step up and get a deal done. God bless everyone within the XRP community that has been riding out this storm throughout the FUD. And if you're in cryptocurrency too, because it's not just XRP, right? But, XRP is what turns us on the most. Let me check the Q&A. What are we working with, folks? Thank you so much. Now trying to save face? No, it's not trying to save face. It's providing clarity. In a 10-minute video, I can only say so much. In a 60-second TikTok, I can only say so much. The intention span of the common person here is 5 seconds right now. So that's why I pull up and do an hour-long conversation to make myself more available than everyone else in the space. Damn near. What else are we working with? Are you able to share with who the other reviewers of the document are? No, the way that they did it is they each assigned us a number. So I just know numbers this, and this are part of this committee. We don't even know who's in it with us. Some, obviously, the influencers have all made it public. Oh my gosh, I'm partnering up with Val Hill Capital. I'm a cool guy. Yeah, that's about all that we know. Now, there is some people that have made it public. You're allowed to say that you're in the committee. The matters within are not really so much confidential as it is just the members and the privacy of those members. Yeah. Why is XRP better than Strike in the Lightning Network? Lightning Network is not scalable and it is centralized. Yeah, so it's just not the solution. Will you do a beer bong when XRP gets clarity? Folks, we're going to be having a good time, but our lives won't end when the XRP lawsuit's over, right? Like, a lot of us have been just wrapped up in this thing. It's became our lives, right? It's became our identity. Our whole ego's wrapped up around our place in the XRP army. I think ahead, like I said, once you got the little one running around and you got to protect her, you got to, help provide an opportunity for her. That switches up the whole game to, I'm just my little role in the XRP army. It's so much bigger than that, guys. I mean, and that's why over the last, through the bear market, we've really expanded to get talking more in every single episode about current events and how we're investing in the other asset classes. Because it's not just our 2000 XRP is going to take us to paradise and it's yacht time. It's never been our program, never been our strategy. JJ, 5-spot, appreciate you, brother. You're always contributing. JJ, I see you, brother. Thank you. Zach, the switch flips. Do any of you believe the way things are now that you will be allowed to keep their XRP? Long live the cabals, so many. That's what I'm saying, brother. We're up against real evil. They're willing to come after us. They're willing to take us out. We see what agenda has been exposed. We see what programs have been exposed. We see what they've been releasing on humanity, and it's not good. It's not nice. These people aren't looking to do a deal that's in our favor. The standpoint that I'm at right now is we have a constitution, right? And you guys saw what just happened, right, with Trump, and now everyone's supporting the Constitution, right? Right? We can all agree upon that as Americans, right? Hopefully. And like I'm saying, this is a worldwide fight, though. I speak on behalf of an American. I'm driving my truck around, and it's a fun time as we fight it out here in America. We've been blessed. We've been lucky, right? So I'm an American at heart. You guys see that. That's very clear. But I want that same opportunity for the rest of the world. And I'm happy to see these other countries freeing themselves from the US dollar. So that's great to see. I don't like what I'm seeing here. The beginning article that we covered was Nigeria caps ATM cash withdrawals at $45 daily. $45 daily is the daily limit there in Nigeria. Salamander, 5-spot. I guarantee BlackRock and all the US and world banks are with XRP, XDC, XLM. ISO 222 is key in my opinion because you got to have the messaging between the institutions, between the enterprises, between the businesses, between the real people that are moving it. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing for us, the retails, the small business solution, the small utility, whatever it may be, to use something else that's not ISO 222. But that, to me, is why you would even talk about ISO 222 compliance. It's just so key for Swift. I mean, they're telling us that that's the standard. That's what they're going to be adopting. And so that's important. That's important. Projects claim that they're ISO compliant. And I understand there's no such thing as an ISO compliant token. It's just a standard for messaging. But let's just simplify it. People get so caught up on the damn technicals that they just miss the damn point, right? If the company's even trying to have ISO 222 messaging standard within their protocol, that's good. They might not have gotten the official ISO approval from Swift or whoever's doing the ISO deal. That's not what matters, right? It's basically, if you want to make your code work with ISO 222 standard messaging, you're going to do that. And we want to see projects. I would like to invest in projects that are doing that. And it's unfortunate that people fell for the November 21st date. The November 21st date? No, absolutely. Absolutely, XRP and the ISOs were not going to pump on November 21st. When have we ever gotten a date way in advance that's going to be the day that they pump it? The day that we perceive it to be bullish, we perceive it to be good, and that's the day that they're going to pump it? See, that's the clickbait. That's the clickbait. That's the desperation for views and clicks. How will they pay us if there is a buyback? See, I want to take the conversation to what do we back our dollar by? Can we bring in back a gold standard? Do we have some silver? Do we have other commodities that we could back our dollar by? Maybe if we did a deal for XRP, we could back the dollar by XRP. That might be a good solution right there. So, that's the deal that that's the portion of the deal that gets me excited is not just, I want 10,000, I want 5,000 USD for my XRP. No, I don't want to give up my XRP, right? I want to become a bank. I want to maintain control of the asset. Do not get this twisted, guys. But if you're telling me that we could maybe reset our currency, reset our debt, start back from square one, have a true reset, have a level playing field, we're going to back the dollar, we're going to have our CBDC run on blockchain technology, and we're also going to back and physically track the gold that does back our dollar, and we're going to pay you with that CBDC, well, okay, we can have a conversation about that. Because that's what I think is the future. That's what I hope for as an American. I don't want 50,000 USD. I mean, that is barely a down payment on a house in America right now. 50 grand, 50 racks. That used to be able to buy you a house. So why, yeah, absolutely. I hear everyone who's in the comments. I understand questions and concerns. My whole thing with this buyback discussion is let's remain, respectful. Let's keep it mature. This is an adult conversation, and none of us are just banking on this deal as being done tomorrow and we're rich. No. This is about a corporation that hijacked our country, is enslaving humanity through the use of the Federal Reserve and destroying the value of our currency. And that's the entity that we're up against. We have the asset of the future. We have the technology of the future. We have the precious metals to back currencies. What kind of deal? If it's not, it's not going to be this deal. I do not believe that this deal gets done. I believe that this is a negotiation, a starting point of negotiations. That's what this is. That's what it represents. But even their acknowledgement acknowledges the corporation and it acknowledges the damages that they've done, which is why they haven't publicly acknowledged that they've received the proposal. But they're saying, Jimmy Valley, Valho Capital, they're saying that they have confirmed that they have received it. And as you're seeing, they're now sending it to every single member of the Federal Reserve and the Treasury Department. It's the same thing when we're trying to figure this out, and I get excited about XRP, and I just say, if it's not going to be XRP, who is it going to be? Excuse me. If it's not going to be XRP, which crypto is it going to be? If it's not going to be this deal, what deal can we do? What court case do we need to file? Interesting Supreme Court rulings here coming up here shortly here too, huh? Interesting to watch those developments. Now, today, Trump was found guilty of 17 charges for tax fraud, whatever they were able to get the Trump organization for. That's the difference in understanding the law. Not just running with the headlines, not just running what the mainstream media wants to tell us about the big bad orange man who evaded taxes. He's a bad guy. 17 counts. The Trump organization. Trump's never going to be in trouble. Trump's he's doing fine. What are you guys working with? I've been ranting. Let me take some more questions and concerns. Buying a yacht, private island. Yeah, I don't even think about that. I don't think about that. All I think about is what's the next business move? What's the next investment that we can make here? We got a lot to do. We got a lot of work to get done before I even think about yachts, before I think about Lambo. I will never buy a Lambo, ever. I will never partake in that. I got my Ford F-250. Has incredible utility, just like the investments I make in cryptocurrency. It's pretty simple. It's a very simple life. God bless it. Not Trump, the Trump organization. Yeah, exactly. Yep. We are gold rich in this country. The Grand Canyon has tons of gold. The same with Chocolate Mountain in Cali. Tons and hundreds of tons of gold there. Cliff, yeah, it's interesting to see, right? Because it's just like we're not even supposed to even think about investing in gold or silver. Like precious metals is just this weirdo thing. They've almost what's the term that I'm thinking of it? But it's basically similar to what they've done with the preppers, right? And now that's become mainstream to, stock up a little bit, try to make sure that the pantry's, a month ahead, 2-3 months ahead, if you can afford it, which is the real situation right now is, right, can you even afford to fill up the fridge? Not just the pantry and the stockpile. Can you afford to fill up the fridge? So, yeah, that's an interesting thing to hear to watch right now. They're buying record amounts of gold, but we're not even supposed to consider investing in it. I'm trying to get back into my silver dealer because I don't even care what it is. He charges me $30. I don't even care what it is, man. Let's roll. And then, like I said, I got my partner for everyone in the community. If you're looking to roll over your retirement account 401k, get in touch down below. The link, Precious Metals, there. We'll take you to my people. Okay. Drag Dubs, thank you for the 5 spot. At CVS self-checkout, the barcode scanner is positioned in between 2 silver metal plates. On each plate is half of the XRPX symbol. There you go. Well, you just happen to see that symbol everywhere. And the key thing here is actually understanding that silver is used in quite a bit more than gold, I believe, actually. So silver has some serious utility as well, especially in all of our technology. Who do you talk to at the Fed? Well, the proposals actually sent to the Treasury, the Federal Reserve of Boston, New York, Philadelphia, Cleveland, Richmond, Atlanta, Chicago, St. Louis, Minneapolis, Kansas City, Dallas, San Francisco, and the Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve. Yeah. Which is located on Constitution Ave. Funny how that, on Constitution Ave. A completely unconstitutional entity. Attention, Jerome Hayden Powell, chairperson. Yeah. Guess I'm going to have to print out this document again. I was doing too much ranting and raving and destroyed it. Tear the crap up. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have that conversation. I'm interested in that conversation. I want to save my country. We have a debt problem and we have a currency crisis. The other benefits of XRP is obviously solving the liquidity crisis as well. So that's a beautiful trifecta of utility right there. Zach, are you going to sell your XRP or are you going to collateralize? I'm hoping to collateralize like 90% of it. I only have plans to sell some short term, but post reset, restructure, and revaluation, things will change. My investment strategy and thesis is always adapting, but usually I'm in the same spot for about 6 months to a year is how I like to plan. I like to understand what investments and allocations I want to make for the next 6 months minimum. Okay, so that way when I come into the cash as it's made available, I understand where my budget's at. I understand how much money I got coming in, going out, how much we need to feed the family. And then we decide how much cryptocurrency we can buy, precious metals as well. And then, like I said, the main thing that I got going right now is just being ready to snipe deals in real estate coming later this year, 2023. 2023, going on the attack. Not a game, not a joke, not a freaking assault in real estate. Escalade 5 spot. Zach, you are the real deal. Thanks. I appreciate you guys so much for understanding, where I'm coming from, hearing me out. I know a lot of people within my community have been sending me messages, DMs, offering help on the buyback, and that's why I love my people. I love you guys because you guys are like, hey, how can I help? Let's talk about it. Let's do it, and instead of just like running away, getting offended. Oh, that's not even possible. It's like, first off, stop having a poor mindset. Second off, it's about saving the country. That's what this is about for me. The whole buyback, about saving this country. AR 5-spot, appreciate you, brother. They should have titled the buyback something different like Hodler's Bill of Rights, LOL, but seriously, we would have avoided the noise and confusion. It is confusing. It is triggering. Guys, it's tough because anytime you put a video that has a number in the title, it does way better. It's so unfortunate. And it's us. It's you, me. We're the problem. Because when we see a video that says 50K, boom, we're hitting it. And so I'm sorry, I am guilty, but I'm talking about it. It's in the proposal. It's, I'm not just making it up. So I try to always be clear with you guys. Matthew, huge shout out to my brother Matthew on TikTok. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Massive gift there. I appreciate the shades. God bless you, brother. What's good, brother? AR, I see you. Thank you, brother. God bless you. This was a super chat. Quantitative tightening, hyperinflation will shake the XRP out of most pockets to live. Do you perceive them saying we must be to spend the XRP? Yeah, they might. They're doing games. They've already done the games with that, right? And I apologize for missing that super chat. Okay, that was from the Conscious Cat 5-spot. Conscious Cat, I see you. Thank you for the super chat. You guys are lighting me up tonight. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for the support. Really means a lot. Quantitative tightening, hyperinflation will shake the XRP out of most pockets to live. Do you perceive them saying we must do the dance to spend our XRP? Yeah, so I am worried about that with the CBDCs, not so much the XRP, but I am worried about what they could do with the CBDC. That's the main concern with me. And that's why I've tried to make my life outside. I can't get canceled. I don't have to answer to anybody. Both my businesses, I'm doing my own thing, right? In my community. I kind of got outside of that by investing also in precious metals and cryptocurrency. Because I want to have the ability to go with outside of that. My job didn't tell me that I had to take it. And that I'm fortunate, guys. That's a blessing. And I worked obviously to be here, but I'm very thankful for that. And I understand the situation that a lot of people got put in regards to doing that dance. And, why can't we just talk about that now at this point, right? Like we got some data, we got some good information to, formulate our thesis on, maybe adjust our thesis, or maybe, oh wait, we were right. Now the data confirms and backs up what we weren't supposed to be saying, what we weren't allowed to talk about, what we got shut down for. I can't speak any further on it though, probably because, probably still not okay. This country, man, we're at work right now. This is battle right now. And we understand what they're trying to do to us. We understand. And that's why I maneuver. The dance that I'm going to do is kind of still working within their system to break their system, to resist their evil. I'm using the TikTok platform. You don't think that I understand what TikTok's doing? Right? But it's a powerful tool that I'm going to take advantage of while we try to resist this. My plan isn't just take my family out into the hills and leave humanity and that's it. And as long as I got my organic farm in the woods and we're going to be okay, I want to resist it up front before it gets to that point. Now, that's not to say that I'm not heading to the farm in the hills. I'm still heading to that farm, but I am going to leave the farm every once in a while to come to the city council meeting, to come to the county council meeting, to make an appearance. And to make sure that we are holding people accountable that are supposed to be representing the American people. I'm very excited about the opportunities at hand, but these people, they're not willing to give up this power easily. What else are we working with, guys? Thank you so much for keeping it lit tonight. We got nearly 800 in the chat tonight. That's a party. I see you guys lighting me up. Sam, 5 spot. Zach, it's been a rough time, but I may have finally convinced my dad to exchange 20% of his $100,000 that's set there for 5 years as savings for XRP. Sam, it's just a matter of doing something with it, because we understand that, cash is losing its value, right? But you need the cash to buy the deals, whether that's precious metals, whether that's XRP, whether that's the business, whether that's the real estate. So cash is a tool, right? But we don't want to just park it in USD. We don't want funds parked in USD. And that's why I've been talking about people ask, what are you doing with your cash right now? I keep as much as I need in the banks to run my businesses. Running 2 businesses, paying employees, doing deals. Got to keep money in the system, right? But then I obviously take money and assets and funds outside of the system in the form of precious metals, cash, and other things. And you guys know where I'm going, right? Parking it somewhere, because we don't want it to have it just sitting idle. What's interesting though is I see that PayPal is now offering 3.5%, I think, on their savings account. So PayPal is providing, a better, safer return than probably most of these DeFi protocols at this point that have gone bust. I'd much rather trust PayPal to give me 3.5% than I would these DeFi protocols that are promising me 20% plus, right? But nonetheless, got to do something with this, Sam. And it's hard to break through and to kind of, it's like, listen, I'm not here to be your financial advisor, but you can see that that's not the program you want to be in. There's options out here. There's real estate, there's businesses, there's precious metals, there's cryptocurrency. And we believe that XRP is the best. We get so excited about this opportunity because of what we've seen. But we got to do something with it, right? So, Sam, I'm glad to hear that you got that breakthrough. I know family's the hardest, man. I'm glad to hear that, Sam. God bless you, brother. Johnny, good to see you, brother. The only reason people shun the buyback theory is because they don't know how to generate cash flow from cash. I think that people, there's so much confusion about why the Federal Reserve would even sit down at the table. And it's like, you have to understand, you're dealing with a corporation that is bankrupt, bust, and they got to do something. They only have 2 options right now, which has been raising interest rates and basically killing the economy. And the other thing that they're eventually going to have to go back to is printing money, because they're still running deficits. They're still running short. So it comes to inflation, and that comes to devaluing the currency. And that's why they would pull up and look at XRP potentially being a solution. Okay, they don't do the buyback at 50K. But what if they did think about this, folks. And this is what I talked about in my video today, is that people are so caught up on the 50K price, on whatever the price is going to be, but they're missing the debt forgiveness and the tax forgiveness. And you also would still have your rights to all XRP airdrops, which is pretty cool. But the debt and the tax forgiveness. Now, we've seen that people talk about Nasara Jasara. They talk about that. We've seen in some states, they're implementing parts of what was Nasara Jasara, which was the bill that happened right before 9/11. And, there's rumors that it's still in the works, something like it. But nonetheless, you're saying that some states are moving ahead by doing debt forgiveness. Some states actually are, positive their balance sheet and the way that they're actually running their state is properly. But you see the issue here that we have not only within the states, but as a country here and as a Federal Reserve entity, and the central banks reporting record losses for the first time in decades. So that's why they would pull up across the table from us. And I still come from that standpoint of, you guys shouldn't even have a spot at this table. You're a group of private central bankers that you're not even part of the Constitution. So that's where I begin negotiations at. But I also understand we have a whole system, a whole currency, and a lot of debt that has to be reset, restructured. That's not getting paid off. That debt's not getting paid off. Whoever bought our debt, they're dumping it as fast as they can. The treasury notes, all the countries are dumping it as fast as they can, right? But whoever owns that debt better just write that off right now, because you ain't getting it. Or what you're going to get is going to be worthless fiat trash. Right? So that's the predicament. This type of deal gets a lot of people enticed when you talk about tax and debt forgiveness and exemption. So a lot of people, like I make the point always, 90% of the space is probably going to sell out at $10. But if they came back with the buyback proposal negotiation and said, well, actually, we're only going to give you $50, but we'll agree to debt forgiveness. We'll agree to tax forgiveness and exemptions. Think of how many people would sign that deal. Right? We understand how many people are going to sell off XRP at $5 and $10. Think of how many people would accept this deal at $50. And I don't blame some of the elderly folks for taking that deal. You know, I believe that the value is worth much more than $50, but everyone's situation is different. And so when I talk about this buyback here, guys, I just wanted to be clear, and I got an opportunity tonight to kind of talk about it further. This is not a done deal. This is just the beginning of a negotiation, and this is an acknowledgement of how we fix the issues at hand here. The main issues, the currency and the debt crisis. Okay? Now, if they were able to capture a large portion, and I've been saying this, I hope that they just cut a deal with Ripple. Don't buy back our XRP. Just go get 5 or 10 billion from Ripple. Ripple's glad to do you a deal. They're glad to join the gang and be part of that reset restructuring. There's a deal to be done. Doesn't necessarily have to be buying back our XRP. Go cut it with Ripple in our Treasury Department. And that's where I want to bring it back to, is the Treasury Department. That's who needs to be at the table too. I'm glad to see that they've included the Treasury Department. And we're just talking about this thing, guys. First off, as an American that just wants to save his country. But yeah, I agree. I agree. We got another one here. Mr. Lucky, 5 spot. Thank you, brother. Buyback or not, you've been the most transparent in the whole space. Title is right. Dumb crypto prices so they can get in cheap. Next 3 months, huge. And that's the plan, right? All this is about is an elite agenda that's been exposed. And before we were called crazy for saying that this group was working against us and that the dollar was being destroyed and we had a debt crisis and eventually we were going to have a liquidity crisis, right? We were all called, crazy. We were dismissed. Now it's being completely exposed for everyone to see. And so many people are so late to the game. This is the advantage that we've had in this community is we've been here for years. I see other guys putting out clickbait headlines about this being terrifying. And for us, I think we're just kind of in a position of enjoying the show. It's a good time. It's an opportunity. So that's a completely different mindset. And we just stay right there. We stay positive. We stay focused on what can I do today? Yes, I can read this proposal. I can make a little cute video about it, and that's fun. But I also am taking action in my business. I'm figuring out how can I make my next allocation in precious metals. I'm building out my real estate business team. Right. And then we're figuring out what is the next move to make as we face not only all these economic issues, but we understand we're going into the heart of winter. So that's a real situation. We've been making our preparations the whole way. And by the way, I understand where the market's at. I understand where you guys are at. I'm right there with you guys. The times are tough right now. I am sickened every time I go to the grocery store. Every time we go to buy food, every time we pay our bills, I mean, it's unbelievable. I'm very fortunate, and I have worked very hard, though, to be in a position here today where it's okay. We got the money. It hurts. It sucks. What the hell is this? Receipt. But we got the money. We can take care of the family. What we've been talking about on this show, and the whole point of this whole deal is to get you guys in a similar situation. Not just hopium pipe dream about yacht time XRP holders. We're going through a situation. And that's why I finished this session. You guys saw that the TA bros are telling us, and I'm telling you guys from a fundamental perspective, that I do think that we have one more low to be set. But I also haven't been waiting around. I've been throwing everything I can at XRP because this thing's in a funny situation. Stuart Alderati says that the end is in sight. We are very, very close. You have to determine what's best for you. I'm not here to give you guys financial advice, legal advice, tax advice. Please consult your professional. But I am one of the most transparent in this space, and we're going to continue to stay over the target, and we're going to continue to stay ahead of the game. Continue to have predictions that are months ahead, years ahead. Whether they call us crazy, whether they dismiss it, whether they are confused about why. Why would you be following a moon phase pattern as we grow our bags 100%? You know? We're going to stay true to you guys, and that's the main point here. I appreciate all of you guys for showing me love tonight. I hope that you guys enjoyed the session. We're really looking forward to running it up here. Just continuing to press down every single day. So focused, so locked in. And my main focus going forward right now is on my content. I love doing these updates where I can show you guys the current events. We can go through the headlines, go through the news, and I can give you guys my spin, my take, and I can go on a little bit of a rant. But I'm really trying to get locked in right now on my deep dives and on our programs that we've made available, additional extra content and value for the community on the back end, right? If you want to get access, we just dropped our 3rd installment of the business development program. It's all within the Discord group, okay? But the main focus is going to be on the deep dives going forward, because I want to give you guys my original opinions on topics that are going to stand the test of time. Historically, they will be looked back. I was just looking back. I looked up lobster. And you guys can go see that I have the most viewed video on lobster today, right now. When you look up the lobster wallet for XLM, my video has the most views that I can find. Maybe somebody can find something different, but I have over 40,000 views on that video, and it still is relevant today. We just had the XLM deep dive. We just had the conversation, but I put that out months ago. And historically, I need to get these deep dives down right now so that historically, you know, we can put it on the record, and you guys can understand why we are investing so heavily in the assets, making the moves that we're making right now as we navigate not only businesses, cryptocurrency, but as I talked about too, we got our precious metals, real estate, and figuring out how we prepare and get our essentials taken care of for our family as well. You guys lit me up tonight with super chats, and I appreciate that support. If you're looking to add further support to the channel, what we're doing here with this program, head on over to the Patreon down below. You can sign up for the 5 spot. That's a position and a tier to support the channel, a 5 spot. I'd greatly appreciate that support. But then if you want to get into the Discord group, just sign up on down below, and you will get full access to the Discord, the community. And then we are also dropping the business development program for the Discord group as well at no additional charge. Additional value for the community. We're going to keep on bringing it and hitting it hard. I appreciate all of you guys so much. Thank you so much. God bless you all. I will see you guys tomorrow in the next one. Take care.